These are not like, in the US or globally, the hedge funds that you mentioned and some others, they would have taken 10x, 20x, 50x leverage also.
Yeah.
So LTCM, for example, right? You're running stat-arb strategies, but you're taking a 50x leverage. So even if a 2% move happens, you will get blown out, right?
Yeah.
So that is where some common sense has to come in.
Yeah.
And here you cannot even do that because the regulatory things are very, very tight. And I don't think we'll ever reach the stage where, the regulator will say you do 50x leverage. So I think that itself will stop it. Having said that, 1 in a million cases, someone on an advisory side or on a personal level may be doing things which we will never even know of, where these things could happen. But as an industry and more from an institutional side, which I am part of, and Laksa is focused more on institutional quant people, I think from both Incred and Laksa standpoint, I don't think that's very easy in India because of the regulatory oversight, which is good.
I mean, I don't know if you've heard of Wall Street Bets.
Yes.
Sometimes you look at, Bill Huang, who lost $20 billion in a matter of, I believe, a couple of years. It's like they're like these individual retail investors making decisions at an institutional level, and they lose so much money. It's sort of amusing to look at as a third person. Do you think India's regulations are just too bulletproof for that to happen at a large scale?
Yeah. Right now, yes.
That's good to know. All the investors looking at, yeah, interesting. So, wrapping up everything together, let's take an example of my friend Tejas. I hope he's watching this.
Okay.
He's studying for JEE right now, but he really loves, hedge funds, quantitative analysis. He wants to get into it. How would you advise someone our age to first look at a future in the industry? Of course, we can't get into it right now. Look at a future in the industry. And how would you, second, advise a professional who is slightly older than us who wants to excel in the industry?
Got it. No, that's a great question. So, see, for you and your friend and, people of your age group, if you're interested, then obviously I think I like, podcasts and interviews like this because there are so many other such interviews of some of the biggest names in the space out there. And even when I was very young, I used to listen to some of these because you can learn from other people's experiences, right?
Exactly.
Instead of going through the grind and ups and downs yourself, if you can avoid some of those mistakes because they're telling you, thinking like this will be a mistake, then that learning curve can be very fast.
I mean, I'm sorry to cut you off there, but I was listening to a podcast today, and it was by Chris Williamson, and he essentially said that people, despite being able to learn from other people's mistakes, generally want to learn from their own mistakes at a better level. And I think that's amusing because you can save money, time, stress, depression, amongst other things. But, learning from professionals like you firsthand is amazing.
Yeah. So I think that is the best according to me, and that has helped me in the past a lot. But you're right. I mean, it's not easy to do. Because human psychology is like that, right? I mean,
I'm going to be different.
I'd better be different. Ego comes in, I can do better than this. I can take that idea, but I can do it differently and better. So all that comes in. But I think first few formative years, it's good to just absorb everything. And then your style will form. Like I said, when I started out, there were 50 things I wanted to do live. And luckily, I got someone who seeded me, who said that, okay, go and try those 50 things out, as long as you're not blowing my money, within some risk constraints. And then let the live experience tell you, what you want to do. So if one gets an opportunity like that, great. But otherwise, you have enough platforms online nowadays which allow paper trading kind of things. So it's almost like giving you the real feel. And therefore, you can test out a lot of ideas before actually putting your money to play. So one is, here, hedge fund managers, read about them. So books, so I've learned a lot from reading books. I mean, my
favorite books.
I have like a library of books. So I think Fooled by Randomness by Taleb is a great book. I mean, it's not fully quant and strategies per se, but just about, the thinking process and the typical issues, how humans think and how they do or see or do not see probabilities, etc. And then some of the behavioral economic stuff of Kahneman, Tversky and all
Thinking
these guys. So some of their books, Thinking Fast and Slow, it's right there in my cabin. And some other...
It's one of the greatest books on psychology.
And there are a few more, I'm forgetting their names now. But books, there are, more systematic, technical, more quant kind of books. There are books which teach you how to think about position sizing and risk management,
Mhm.
which is less talked about, but actually, in my live experience, more important than just the strategies.
Mhm.
You know, you and I may have the same strategy, but the way I'll position size it and risk size it will be very different, and we'll end up getting very different outcomes.
Mhm.
So I think that there's a lot to actually learn and implement there, more than what anyone does.
Yeah.
So those sorts of things I think can really help. And obviously, compared to 20 years back, now you have a lot more material out there simply online.
Your course is coming out
So
soon.
yeah, so all that is there to help.
Yeah.
And then the other thing you asked is about people who are already in the industry. Again, some of the same things can help because strategies that they want to understand or learn. There's so much material out there.
Mhm.
Someone wants to go more deeper into quant, then CQF is a great course for the quant guys.
Mhm.
And then there are other financial engineering courses here and there globally, which are very interesting for the background for all this as well.
Mhm.
And then some practitioner courses are there both locally and globally,
Mhm.
which also help if one wants to keep upgrading their skills in while being a practitioner in the space. And again, on that side, Laksa will keep doing stuff as well going forward.
That's amazing.